So, before we go into anything else, I want to know, how did you get involved with the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Who brought that to you and you say, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. Sign me up.
That is funny. I didn't think it was a good idea at first. So I had watched the first season.
Right.
I thought it was good or whatever, but I didn't see myself being on there.
Right.
And so just out of the blue, Tiny, she was trying to work on a TV show idea.
Right.
And so she had reached out to me and she had introduced me to Toya.
Okay.
And she introduced me to another young lady, whatever. And they all had celebrity relationships.
Okay.
Okay. But Tamika wanted me to be involved in the show too.
Right.
So they were trying to do like a talk show of sorts back
Right.
then. So I was like, okay, cool. And it sounded like a great idea. We started working on it. And then it was like, maybe we could do a reality show. But the producer of the show, while we were in the midst of trying to put it together and shop the show, Derek J, he's a friend of mine, hairstylist in Atlanta.
Okay.
People seen him on TV before. He was like, hey, Housewives, they looking for somebody new.
Looking for a cast member.
Yeah, he was like, I think they need somebody with their own money. No, he said that. I was like, well, I'm already working on the show. He was like, yeah, but I'm going to tell them to call you anyway because they need somebody with their own money. And I said, yeah, okay, whatever. I was really just focused on the thing with Tiny, but then the producer of that show decided he didn't want to use me.
Wow.
Everything happens for a reason. So I was like, okay, cool. And that ended up being the Tiny and Toya show.
Right.
Remember back then?
Yes.
But then, so the week after I found out I wasn't going to be involved,
Right.
Housewives called me.
And you said?
I was like, all right,
I'll try it.
It'll be something fun to do. I was like, I didn't think I was like, it'll be something to do for a year, I guess.
But, I mean, you're the OG housewife now.
Now, I never thought that was going to be.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
You know what? I see you doubt me a lot. I don't know about you. I don't know about you.
But you said you're not confrontational, but you don't back down from confrontation.
No.
Okay,
I said I don't like to do a lot of talking.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Oh, you try to squabble. Damn.
No, I'm just very much like, I can go from being like real laid back and calm.
You go 0 to 100.
Yeah. Like I can't. It's like that middle way. It doesn't last. I'm trying to keep it to my. I'll be like, look now. And the next thing I know.
So I mean, but the portrayal, and you've heard all this. This is not earth-shattering news. I'm not interrupting the normally scheduled programming.
Right.
They say the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and there are others, especially when black women are involved, is not the most positive portrayal of black women. Mm-hmm. What do you say to that?
That's the funny thing. Before, when I was trying to figure out if I was gonna do the show, there were some group of women sitting around, and they were like, "You shouldn't do that show. It's not a good representation of black women," and all this other kind of stuff. And I said, "Well, if you think that that's not a good representation of black women, but you think I am, then why wouldn't you want me to be on there?" Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So overall, I think that we as black people, we are the most, we criticize ourselves.
We're most critical of ourselves.
Yeah. We're the most criticize ourselves more than anybody.
Yes.
And when I look at all the franchises, not just Housewives of Atlanta, all of them kind of portray a certain stereotype without trying.
Right.
So say, for instance, like the New Jersey Housewives, it's mostly Italian women.
Right.
What's the stereotype of Italian? They say they hot-headed.
Right.
And then everybody know they was flipping tables. They was doing all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Family brawls,
Yes.
Nobody Italian or Caucasian says, oh, they're a bad representation of us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But we, however, no matter how much we're showing of accomplishments and other things that we have going on, anytime we have the negative arguing or whatever, people always seem to want to say, oh, they're not a good representation of black women. But what I will say is, over the years, we have shown people that, yes, we as black women, we do have our arguments. We are a little spicy, and all of that. But we do show our families and the love that we have for our family. We show you success stories. And we show you how, sometimes things ain't easy, but we make it through. And I feel like, hey, if it's not, if you don't like it, then maybe it's just not for you.
But you were able to parlay that. You have a very successful the Kandi Cody. You have you're a restaurateur now. How has Real Housewives of Atlanta helped you in other other avenues?
Oh, it's been helpful in every area. I didn't think it was going to be when I first did it.
Right.
I was like, I've been on TV before. Like, what's that going to do for me? But the Bravo the Bravo universe.
Right.
Our fans for Bravo, they go hard for us.
Yeah, they do.
So they're very supportive. They come out to all your events, whatever. So I always look at the show is really like your own infomercial.
Right.
And whatever you want the world to see that you're doing, yeah, they're going to see your drama.
Right.
But they really need to see you accomplish the things you want.
Right.
Because people will support it.
Right.
And so that's just the way I go into it.
Yeah, because you're still the highest rated, over 1 million views per episode, the highest rated of any franchise. Still, as long as you guys been on the air, you still have the support.
Oh, we definitely got the support. I mean, TV numbers aren't what they used to be.
Right.
But, I mean, you know how they always be doing the demo is this, and it's still doing whatever. It's still doing what it's supposed to do.
How about this? What's your relationship with Nene now?
I guess we're cordial. Last couple times I saw her, she was cool. I mean, it's like...
cordial, that means you're cordially invited. I mean, what?
Like, we don't keep in contact.
Okay.
But, the last couple times we've seen each other, we spoke. We definitely go through our ups and downs stuff.
What about Marlo?
Oh, right now I'm not really feeling it.
Yes.
I am cordial with Marlo, but
you're not feeling her.
We just finished season 15, and you will see why I'm not feeling her when it comes out.
Oh man, come on.
What?
I thought y'all was going. Oh, I'm gonna have to tune into this because I want to see progression and hopefully y'all make amends.
We made amends a couple times, but she keeps going back to the bullshit, and I can't.
You can't deal with that.
It just was a lot to me this time around.
Right.
I mean, I can't tell you now because
you good.
Yeah.
But do you hate? I mean, it's been reported you make X amount of dollars. I ain't gonna say it, but do you hate when people leak your information, personal information?
I don't think those people know what they're talking about.
They just throwing numbers out there.
Yeah, because I be seeing some of the numbers that they say people's net worth and stuff, and they don't never be right.
Right.
And I'm like, how do they come up with this number?
Right.
Who is the person that's saying or leaking the salaries
right.
out to? Just like when they want to say who's making the most money. Or half the time they used to be trying to say what I made. I was like, is that what you think? Like,
I made more than that.
I'm like, people... and then people run with it. They really think it's real. I'm like, where do you, first of all, I'm not telling anybody my salary.
Right.
And I know Bravo isn't.
Right.
So where are you getting that from?
Right. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we do something before two something.